All right, guys, welcome to day 2. It is 8 o'clock in the morning here in Green Bay. We're going to head down to Lambeau Field, and we're going to go behind the scenes of the NFL draft. So we're going to look at the stage today. We're going to go into the green room. We're going to see a lot of cool stuff. We're going to tour Lambeau Field. I cannot wait to see that venue, explore every inch of the most historic venue in the NFL. And then later tonight, we got the draft. So should be a busy day. Should be a fun day. I'm in a good mood after what happened last night with Travis Hunter. Still in awe that we actually got him. So we're going to see what happens today. Should be a fun day. And let's do this thing.
So I want to say you cut down on the number of bags of helmet.
So this is what it looks like 9 hours before draft day. So this is where our location is. It's the inner circle. They invite certain fans from different teams, and then that's all sponsorship seating over there. So if you're wondering where they put the hats on for the first time, and there's the stage. So players walk up this thing. We're going the opposite way, but they walk up this thing, go to the man in the mirror, and now we're going into the green room for the first time. Let's see what this is about. Gotta say, I've seen a lot of green rooms. This might be the nicest one. They really did a good job with this one. It's definitely very roomy in here. Furniture looks really comfy too. Yeah, so this thing is absolutely massive. It's the largest green room in NFL draft history, and you can tell it is very, very spacious in here. In case you're wondering about one of the most controversial calls of all time, even the Packers admit that this probably should not have counted. One of the worst calls in NFL history that a lot of people forgot about. Don Chandler field goal in 65. Colts probably should have won that game. Probably should have been a repeat, but wow. Even the Packers are acknowledging probably the wrong call on that one. So last year, they had Calvin Johnson. This year, it's 5 receivers, including the Hall of Famer, James Lofton. I think this might be the best seat in all of professional football. You get your own outlet to charge stuff. You get this perfect view of this immaculate venue. Oh my goodness. It's soaking us all in. This is incredible. They really did a great job with the renovation. This structure added, I want to say 12 years ago. I know they're working on it in 2012. I think 2013 is when this area opened up, and it just looks incredible and doesn't feel out of place with the rest of the stadium. Man, this is... I could spend all day here. This is incredible.
What was it like for you, the run up to the draft? You knew you were one of the top players in the country. You're the NCAA long jump champion, the whole deal. Knew you were one of the top ones, but what was it like in the run up? And then, of course, what was it like on draft day? Because now it's suits and red carpets and the whole deal. I don't think there's a lot of that going on in 78.
And I'm going to try and give you the short version of the story, but I'm going to have to start my junior year. The draft was cut down from 17 to 12 rounds. And I thought to myself, I had not even started at Stanford at the time, I'm probably not going to get drafted next year. Along comes Bill Walsh. He comes to Stanford. I end up leading the country in touchdown receptions rather. And so I became prominent in draft discussions, but it wasn't like it is now. And on draft day, the draft I think started at maybe 10 a.m. Eastern time. So at 6:30, I got a call from the Los Angeles Rams, who I think had the 7th pick in the draft, and it was my hometown. And so I'm all excited. My stomach is kind of fluttering right now. And then at about 7:45, Carol Edwin from the Green Bay Packers called me and said, "Can you hold for Bart Starr?" Held for Bart Starr, stumbled through a few words. "Yes, of course. Yes, sure I will." And he hung up the phone, and I went to my 8 o'clock class. After that, I went to track practice and came back home. And so that was the fanfare. I didn't go out and buy a new suit or new shoes or anything. I went to class.
And they didn't send a plane for you to come to Green Bay for the press?
There was no plane to come into town, but I did come later on on a weekend when I didn't have a track meet.
So I was just sitting around. My agent, we thought I was going to go like late second round, maybe early third. So I'm waiting around. So now it gets to the third round, and I'm just really frustrated and antsy. So I give my homeboys the nod. I'm like, come on, man, let's get out of here. So I didn't know where we was going. We was just riding just to blow some steam off. And I probably got about 10 city blocks away. And I got a page on my Motorola pager. So I had to pull over to the side of the road, put 35 cents in the phone booth, spin around, and call back home.
Yeah, for some of you youngsters, that we used to have phone booths, and we used to do that with phones.
And change.
Google it, ask your parents. Go ahead.
And my mom never texted me because she didn't like me having a pager anyway, because it was always associated with
The connotation.
negativity. So mom texted me, and it's like, instead of 911, she put 411. I'm like, he figures 411. So I called her back. She's yelling, "Where are you? Come back home. There's some man named Wolf on the phone. The man name is Wolf. You gotta come home." So I reroute, hang the phone up. We go back home, and there's Mike Holmgren, there's Ron Wolf, right there inviting me and welcoming me to be a Packer.
Touchdown against Champ Bailey. We get to overtime. We win the coin toss. As soon as we get in the huddle, Brett passes
We were still in
gas.
sudden death rules at this point.
Exactly. First score wins. We get in the huddle. We like, man, what in the world? And Brett passes gas. A little something to lighten the mood. And he calls the play, first play of the game, first play of overtime, touchdown, walk off, we win. That was Brett in a nutshell. Always cracking jokes in the locker room. Always had a prank for some. Free, you know this. Always. That was Brett all the time.
No disrespect to DC, because DC's a good quarterback too, and DC can throw the ball. That's my dog. But it was a lot of plays to where I'm like, you don't see that? throw the ball. But I'm saying you don't see that in the dude right here. But that's Aaron. Ball right here. You know what I'm saying? Aaron and Brett put the ball in any spot that they want to put the ball. And you don't really know that till you're gone. And I tell people all the time, I'll speak for myself, I probably don't have the stats I have if I don't play with Brett or Aaron, because it's a lot of passes to where other quarterbacks ain't even gonna think about throwing it. You know what I'm saying? Brett or Aaron will take that chance, and not only that, they got special arm talent. And that was the funnest part, playing with both of them. One thing I will say though about Brett though, Brett had a cocky arm, and he always thought he was gonna beat the defender. And I'll never forget, my rookie year, this dude was hurt the first 2 games. So they said, JJ, you up. And I said, cool. So second play of the game, we playing the Philadelphia Eagles right here. We got Denver on, right? It's 2 slants and another little end break. So I'm at number 2. I see Brian Dawkins walk down. So I'm like, cool, cross his face. You know what I'm saying? Take Brian Dawkins out of the play. He gonna work the end route coming in last. Brett looked at me twice. I said, I know you're not gonna throw this. I know you're not. You don't think you're gonna be. And he threw the ball, and Brian Dawkins hit me so hard in the back. And I will never forget to this day, I didn't look back. I didn't walk back to the huddle. I just got up and walked to the sideline. And I told my receiver coach, hey, this might not be for me.
I'm done. We're good.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, so the brunch is done. That was incredible. 5 incredible receivers, including Hall of Famer James Lofton, Antonio Freeman made the greatest catch of all time, Monday Night Miracle against the Vikings in 2000, and then, for my money, the greatest receiving unit of all time in terms of depth with Donald Driver, Randall Cobb. They weren't there, but Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, James Jones were. It was incredible. You saw a lot of the cool stories that they told. It was just a really cool experience. Now we're going to tour Lambeau. Did get some autographs from all 5 of those guys, which will be going in the studio for sure. So cannot wait to show that off. And yeah, now it's time to tour this facility and see everything that Lambeau has to offer, which it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot to take in. Bucket list item for years, and we can cross it off. Okay, so just got back to the hotel. Got about 2 hours before we'll head back down to Lambeau for night 2 of the draft in the theater. I'll talk more about what I want out of day 2, later on, but I just want to talk about the experience so far today. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. You got to go behind the scenes, go into the green room, see all that. The chalk talk, the Q&A was incredible with the five incredible receivers for the Packers, including the Hall of Famer James Lofton. So the tour was also incredible. The guy was really enthusiastic about the Packers, and he's been a fan forever, and he's done like 5,000 tours at this point. He was so good, so knowledgeable. It was a lot of fun, and then the Hall of Fame was also an amazing experience. Absolutely amazing experience. Just soaking all that in. I'm a bit surprised they didn't have more about Milwaukee. It's funny, they do have like some of the greatest moments in Brett Favre's history and regular season history. There wasn't anything about the touchdown he scored in 94, the final touchdown in Milwaukee, that crazy play with 20 seconds left. Wasn't anything about that. Other than that, they really got everything. There's so much history there. All the football is for the guys who are in the Packer Hall of Fame and the Lombardi trophies, the championship trophies. It really, really was really cool to see. And there was some stuff that I learned for the first time, some really, really cool stuff. Just to soak all that in was something else. There's a reason Lambeau Field is as revered as it is, and it's not just that it's got history. It's a genuinely nice stadium on the inside. It's roomy in terms of the concourses. It's really well done and well maintained. Even for a stadium that was built, it's the third oldest stadium in North America, the oldest one in the NFL, if you don't count Soldier Field, post-renovation that basically destroyed that venue. So, gorgeous stadium. It's easily number one on my list now of best stadiums I've been to, even though I've never been to a game there. Definitely got to get there for a game at some point. But we're going to just wait until the second night begins for the draft. I'll sign on then, and also get some more scouting done, finish up some notes, seeing as I think we're going to go running back tonight. So really want to get a really good look at these backs. I've got to look at quite a few of them already. Want to go through a bit more just so that I know what we're going to do. But again, that's later in terms of day 2. I'll talk more about what I think is going to happen in just a little bit in the next part of this vlog, the next video you see. So with that, I am going to just get some work done, and then we will head over to Lambeau. But incredible day so far. NFL location absolutely killed it, and everyone's been so nice, so friendly. The hospitality here is off the charts compared to Detroit. It's like night and day. It is really like night and day compared to Detroit. The organization, hospitality, it is incredible. Green Bay is doing a heck of a job so far, at least from what I can tell. So, see you guys in a little bit. All right, we are outside the draft theater. Time for night 2. Jags are on the clock until round 3, so it could be a long night. We do have 2 picks in round 3. Got that one last year in the Dallas Turner trade, the one where the Vikings trade up to our spot to get him at 17, if I'm not mistaken. 17 or 18, I think it was 17. But with that in mind, weather held out. It was pouring earlier today. It is cleared up. It is not windy, so it's actually a surprisingly nice night here for the draft. Definitely not as crowded. I think the weather from earlier today definitely swayed some people away, especially if they're coming on Saturday. So definitely not as packed today, but still a pretty lively crowd. I don't think we're going to have capacity today. I'd be very surprised if we do, but there's a drone show later tonight, which should be going on. I don't think the weather's going to be too bad for the drone show. Now, in terms of what I want the Jags to do, we're looking at probably safety at some point, because I really don't like any of our safeties right now instead of Savage. Murray, I know we signed him in free agency, but he is on the older side of things, and we don't really have any depth at that position. If Xavier Watts is on the board, I would gladly take that. We'll see if he's there round 3. There are some running backs I really like. This is a very deep running back class. Now, I do like Tre'Von Henderson. I'm not crazy. I know he's going to be off the board probably the first 5 or 10 picks of the second round, so I'm not even counting him. In terms of guys I like, obviously you guys know my thoughts on Cam Scatterbo. You know my thoughts as an ASU alum. The man just runs hard. The man can do it all. We need a back like that who can just break tackles at will. We don't really have that right now, and Cam is that guy. But if he is gone by that point, I don't think he will be gone by the time we're on the clock. But if he is gone by that point, Judkins will be gone by this point. So, and they were showing the video of Golden Gate Grip on the Packers. Everyone's really hyped about that one. I've not seen this much love for a Packer pick in a long time, I can tell you that much. Packer fans are in love with this guy already, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Golden is a heck of a receiver. Ask KSU all about that. But if we can't get Scatabo, I'm not crazy about Caleb Johnson, I'm not going to lie. I'm really not crazy about Harvey out of UCF. I think his acceleration is not that good. The guy I really like is still in Sampson out of Tennessee. Going to be one of those two, Scatabo or Sampson round 3. Hopefully Watts falls to us, and we'll go from there. That's the dream scenario for tonight. We'll see what happens. I don't know if we're going to trade up, trade down. You know, Gladstone said earlier today that he'll never let himself fear dictate what he does, and he will be aggressive if the opportunity presents itself. We saw that with the Rams, and he said it today in his interview with Garofalo. So I'm excited to see what Gladstone does for an encore tonight. Day 2, safety, running back. Let's get it.
Round 2, the 2025 NFL Draft is officially open. The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock. Come on, everybody!
So they're doing this thing to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the 2000 draft class, and the Jags legend is TJ Slaughter, which I guess they can't do our first round pick because RJ Showard was the less said the better. Second pick was Brad Meester, though. Maybe the best offensive lineman in Jags history, not named Tony Vaselli. Not sure why you wouldn't bring Meester back. No one's more number 63. You gotta go TJ Slaughter? Come on, NFL, come on.
With the 34th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Jaden Higgins, wide receiver, Iowa State.
All right, Texans just got Higgins. Crap. Why is the AFC South taking guys I really like? Higgins is a really good receiver. I get a lot of Al Robinson in his game. Higgins is a heck of a receiver, and I think he's going to do a lot of good stuff in Houston, unfortunately for us. Now, in terms of trade, Seahawks on the clock now. Titans trade the pick. Seahawks there. We know they were looking to trade up potentially. Do they want to get a quarterback? I know they have Donald, but it's basically a one-year contract and get out of it. They don't like Howell. They want to trade him. Could this be Shedeur? Could this be Tyler Shock, the Louisville quarterback? It could be one of those two. Also, have to point this out. An unknown detail. I don't know if it's an error on Green Bay's part or if it's a signal of something to come. But if you look at the board, it shows you who's on the clock, who's coming up next, and they get the abbreviations for all the teams, and they get their actual abbreviation. So, look at New Orleans. It's just NOLA. Not NOR, not NO. NOLA. I've never seen it referred to as NOLA before. Are they changing the abbreviation for this year? We'll see this season. Maybe it's something for the works. Maybe it's an error on Green Bay's part. I'm not sure.
With the 35th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Nick Emmanwori, DB, South Carolina.
With the 36th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, your Cleveland Browns select
Jennings, running back, Ohio State.
Gotta say, Cleveland, Judkins over Henderson with what he almost in pass protection. Man, I like Judkins. I like Henderson a lot more, though. We'll see.
With the 38th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select
Travion Henderson, running back, Ohio State.
There it is.
in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Tyler Shuck, quarterback.
And the slide continues.
22nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Mason Taylor, tight end, LSU.
I think a lot of people thought they were going to go with Warren in round 1. They get their tight end in round 2. A lot of people had the third best tight end on the board. And now he's gone.
And with the 42nd
37th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Will Johnson, defensive back, Michigan. Rise up, Red Sea.
Okay, so far in terms of the guys that I really like, Xavier Watts, Brinsley out of Ole Miss, we're going to go with some depth on the D-line. Sampson, Kim Scatabo, those four are still there. So far, as we're nearing the end of round 2, only a few picks left in round 2, and we got 2 picks in round 3 for us.
Shadow of Lambeau Field, and I love Lambeau Field because the king of the North, the best quarterback in the NFC North, Caleb Williams, is undefeated at Lambeau Field. And in case y'all aren't familiar with my game, let me remind you, I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins. And I am here to tell you that with the 56th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the greatest franchise in the NFL, the Chicago Bears, select Ozzie Trapillo, tackle from Boston College. Let's burn it down and bear down Chicago.
With the 60th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select R.J. Harvey, running back, UCF.
Okay, running back off the board, Harvey's gone. You guys know my thoughts, I was not too high on Harvey. Good news is we can't pick him. Bad news is I wonder if this starts still on running backs before we get to pick 68. We're on in just a little bit. That was pick 60. Samson's still there, Cam's still there. We know we're going, we need a running back. We know we like Jency at 5 if we were going to keep that pick. So, where's the running back run start? We're going to find out. 7 picks to the Jaguars are on. In terms of Kuiper's best available running backs, they got Caleb Johnson, Ken Scotty, Dylan Sampson, and Neal out of Kansas. Of those 4, I love Cam, love Dylan, not crazy about Caleb, don't like Neal, I think the strides are way too small. I think it's too long to accelerate, so glad Harvey's off the board, but I'm thinking running back this round before the run on running back starts, because this feels like around the time after Harvey got drafted that if we don't take a running back here, we have a bit longer to go in the 3rd round to get one. And you know we need one. We only got 2. And ETN's probably gone after this year. I'm thinking running back this round. We'll have to find out. All right, so once you get to round 3, 5 minutes per pick, and they usually announce the picks in bulk on stage. So you'll hear like 3 picks at once, and it's going to be very delayed in terms of when the pick is actually, you see it on TV on the bottom line, versus when we're seeing it. So right now, they haven't even announced pick 65 yet, and I think pick 68 is on the clock. So this is where it gets a bit off sync. So just keep that in mind, rounds 3 through 7. Round 1, it's not off sync. Round 2, it's not off sync. Round 3, chaos. Okay, Jaguars are on the clock right now. Okay, just as I say that, Lions are on the clock. We traded our pick. There's so much for that. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer to make our first pick today. Lions' next pick is not until 102? So I'm trying to figure out what we got for this, because this seems like a really far way to trade back. Maybe we got a future second? I wouldn't hate that. Maybe get some more ammo to get back to the first round next year. If it's a third or future second, I don't hate that at all, but I don't know, because if it's 70 for 102, and then I don't know what we get, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, wouldn't be worth it to go 32 spots back, I wouldn't think. I'm thinking future second, which would be really, really nice. Hopefully that's what it is, or 4th and a future 3rd. We're finding out in real time.
1 year ago on this weekend, I cried because I thought I was going to be a Packer. But the Kings of the NFC North came to save me. Detroit gave me one prize.
Okay, so trade details just got announced. We get a 3rd round pick this year, trade back 32 spots. So we get 102, which is a 3rd round pick this year. Final pick of the night. And 2 3rd rounders next year. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's a lot of ammunition to trade back up into the first next year if we like that. We have a 2nd and 3 3rds now to work with. Yeah, I can absolutely work with that. Especially because, look, the guys on the board right now, none of the guys have been taken. None of the guys I really like have been taken. The 4 big guys, none of them. Running back, we haven't seen a run on running backs at all. The Jags still have 3rd round pick at 88, so they got to figure someone's going to be there by the time we're at 88. I like it straight a lot for Jags. A lot of ammo, get some more day 2 picks, can't hate on that. We're in the 80s right now. Not just a song, like actual pick 80s. Princely's off the board, Carolina took him, but Sanson's still there, Scatterbo's still there, so we're okay. Watson's still there as well. Jags will be on in a little bit, and the guys I like are still on the board, so hopefully get one of them.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Jalen Noel, wide receiver, Iowa State.
All right, two Iowa State receivers by the Texans. Okay, Chiefs are on the clock. They just traded with the Bucs. I have a feeling this could be one of the backs. I have a feeling. You look at the running backs right now. Pacheco, behind him, not a whole lot. Obviously, Kareem Hunt, he's getting up there in age, and they don't have a ton of depth behind him. This could be.
The New England Patriots have traded the 85th pick to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Please not. Please not. Come on.
With the 85th pick in the 2025 NFL
not
Draft,
Cam, not
the
Simpson.
Kansas City Chiefs select Noel Williams, defensive back, California.
Okay, we're okay. Jags are on about 3 picks. We have not had a pick tonight. I've been sitting in the cold for about 4 hours. We have not had a single pick. About to come in just a few moments.
You have to stop us for one moment
We are
because the
on
pick
the
is
clock.
in. Let's take our eyes to the podium.
7 hours today. Feels like we are on the clock.
To announce.
Jags are taking their sweet time with this pick. They have not made a pick tonight. They're letting this run. Wait a second. Wait, did we trade up? Wait a second, hang on. We have 89 too? Wait, what did we do? Okay, what the heck did we do? Okay, so we have back-to-back picks, I think. Maybe that's why we're letting it run. We got back-to-back picks. We can take our time. I don't know what we did, but we are on the clock, back-to-back picks.
With the 87th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select
Xavier Williams, wide receiver, Texas Christian.
Another one! All right. I think after what happened in the playoff game last year against the Eagles, 2 receivers the first 2 days. There were some interesting cuts. Some interesting cuts for this team at wideout. Gotta figure 2 wideouts. Romeo Dobbs might be done. You gotta figure Dobbs, Reed, Watson, someone's not coming back. I think Reed's gonna stay. I feel like Dobbs might be out. He might be the odd man out. There'll be some interesting trade options potentially.
Welcome NFL legend TJ Slaughter.
Alright.
Here comes that tail of black, baby. Duval. NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Khalid Ransom, DB, Tulane.
Okay. All right, another DB, all right. Okay, gotta be honest, did not expect a corner. I thought we were gonna go DB, I thought we were gonna get safety. Corner's interesting, because obviously we got Hunter to play both ways. You got Jerry Jones, you got Jordan Lewis, you got Tyson Campbell, he does get hurt a lot. But I'm not sure how much Ransom's gonna be playing. I'm not sure how much, if we assume Hunter plays both ways, he's basically the fifth best option on the depth chart. So, unless he's gonna move over to safety, not really sure about this one. Not really sure. Come on, TJ, Scotamo, come on!
Duval in the house.
Come on!
With the 89th pick in the 2005 draft, the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Wyatt Milam, guard, West Virginia.
Okay, welcome on the line. Okay.
Gotta rep my college, Southern Miss to the top.
Welcome on the line.
Okay.
All right, no running back. All right, we do need interior depth. Well, we definitely need interior depth. McCarry and Hanson, we got them in free agency. We have no backups whatsoever. And again, McCarry, Hanson, he barely played in Tampa as it was. So I'm okay both up in interior. I'm a bit surprised we did not go running back or safety today, but we'll trust God still. We'll see. Okay, so let's talk about the two guys the Jags just drafted. So Caleb Ransom, I gotta be honest, don't know a whole lot about him. So how I do my scouting, there's some great YouTube channels out there that do cut-ups and post full games and do cut-ups of the offense versus this, or every coverage snap of a player versus this. There's nothing like that for Tulane. So there's no Tulane defense versus footage out there. There's no real Tulane full games out there. So I didn't get a chance to see a lot of Ransom. Again, I don't do highlight videos for that, so I don't know a whole lot about him. Now, having said that, with Ryan Millam, obviously the thing with him is that he's not going to play tackle. He's not playing tackle. He was a tackle in West Virginia. He's got very short arms, so he will play inside. So you have to evaluate the tape with a grain of salt there. But I do like what I saw out of Millam. He's a very, very solid player. He gets to the second level well. He knows his assignment second level. Get up speed isn't the best, but good head level. Gets to the second level. And I think could be a beast in the run game. I can see him potentially starting. I think it's solid pick. The Ransom thing, again, I don't know a whole lot about the guy. I'll be the first to admit, did not see a ton of film on him. But I like Millam a lot. I do like Millam. Wasn't what I was expecting today, but there are no running backs that have been taken as of now. So maybe round 4, we'll pick out our guy. Let's check for the Ravens pick here.
Emory Jones Jr.
All right.
Tackle, Louisiana State.
Yeah, still no running backs taken. Didn't think Ransom was going to take one. Yeah, so question mark on Ransom, especially with how he's going to fit in. Millam, I like the pick. I like the pick a lot. Oh! Over Shedeur! Olo is off the board. And Shedeur waits.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Dylan Gabriel.
Whoa! Oh my God!
All right, so just some final day 2 thoughts before we wrap up this vlog. I'm going to talk more about the post-game entertainment in a later video because I'm going to talk over the pros and the cons of what Green Bay did right, what they could improve upon. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but they did have a drone show. It did look super cool. I will say the drone show looked really, really cool when they did it, when you could see it. But I'll talk more about that in a future vid that's going to come out after day 3 is done. In terms of the draft for the Jaguars, I really, really like what Gladstone's doing. I like the fact that they got 2 third-round picks from the Lions for next year, which is really crazy because you think about it, even after all the Jags give up for Travis Hunter, even after all of that, they give up a second-rounder, a first-rounder this year. Even despite all of that, you're still going to have 7 picks in the first 2 days in 25 and 26 combined. When the average team is 6, you're going to have 7, even despite all of that. And really, Travis Hunter, you can count him as 2 picks, because he's 2 players, wide receiver and corner. So you have your first, you have 2/3 this year, second next year, and 3/3 next year. We could definitely use that for ammunition if we want to trade up into the first round. If there's a player that you do like, you could trade a second, 2/3 potentially, and get back into the first round. No issue whatsoever. We'll see what Gladstone does when the time comes 1 year from now with that. In terms of the picks, like I said before, really like the West Virginia offensive lineman. Excited that we got some guy on the interior because we need interior depth pretty badly. Cole Van Lanen was the main backup right now, and this guy seems like a mauler in the second level. So I'm really, really excited to see what he can bring to Jacksonville. Jags have 2 picks very early on in round 4, 104 and 108 if I'm not mistaken. So you got to figure running back will be coming because, again, the Jags have 2 running backs, period, right now. I don't count Keelan Robinson. He's a kick returner. We have 2 running backs, period. Didn't sign one for agency. Didn't bring back anyone that was on the team last year that had a contract that was expiring. So there is no one at running back outside of ETN and Bigsby, and obviously we don't know with ETN how much longer he's got left in Jacksonville. So I figure running back is definitely going to be coming. You still got Scadmo and Sampson still on the board. I could see backup edge as well. Jack Sawyer is still there. Wasn't crazy for him in the regular season, but postseason was a completely different animal. And day 3 can take a chance on a guy like that. Not sure, but he is there for the taking if you want. We do have a lot of picks in day 3. I think Gladstone's going to be working the phones a lot. He's already worked 3 trades this draft. It's nice to see a GM that actually picks up the phones and knows how to negotiate with people. Unlike Trent Baalke, who never made any trades. It took 2 to tango. He could never trade back up. He could never work the phones that way. Gladstone's already worked 2 trade-ups in 2 days. And he's worked a trade back to get a lot of future ammo for the 2026 draft, which is good to see. And then obviously the big storyline, Shedeur Sanders. Still not off the board. The baggage here is absolutely insane. I don't think anyone saw this coming. I think first round pick, you could say maybe Shedeur wouldn't be taken. I don't think anyone saw him falling into the hundreds, where I have no idea where he's going to go at this point and who is going to take him. Dylan Gabriel taken ahead of him. You got Chuck from Louisville taken ahead of him. Jalen Milroe taken ahead of him. You got all these quarterbacks taken ahead of him, and it's purely based on character at this point. It's got to be good. I don't know what happened behind closed doors. I know those meetings went terribly. I don't know what exactly happened. But there are some concerns with Shedeur in terms of character. You might remember I did stream, my first college football game I ever streamed was Colorado, North Dakota State. I remember the end of that game where Colorado, all I have to do is run the ball. Run the ball, game's over. Instead, Sanders audibles in the huddle to try and throw a pass. I think he was trying to get Horn going because I don't think he had a catch on the day, or he wanted him to get over 100. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I remember him audibling out of play to throw a deep shot, falls incomplete, and Colorado has to pump the ball, clock stops, North Dakota State drives all the way down into Colorado territory, has a chance to win it late. So that raised a red flag. I know a lot of people were talking about some other red flags, but sure, that was the one that really caught my attention. And that was, I said right after, I don't care how talented you are, I'm not touching with a 10-foot pole. And even despite all the great play he's had at Colorado, I mean, he was dominating the Big 12 this past season. Even despite all that, you just don't know with a guy like that. I mean, he's going to audible out of a surefire win. Obviously, some other rumors that I cannot confirm nor deny with Shedeur, but there are clearly a lot of red flags with him, and I don't know where he's going to go at this point because it is a mess right now. It is an absolute mess. I don't know where this free fall is going to stop. I could potentially see Green Bay. As crazy as that sounds, I could see Green Bay for a few reasons. Number one, Gutekunst has always wanted to draft a quarterback every year. He has said for a while that's his MO, draft a quarterback every year. Usually he carry 3 quarterbacks for the Packers. Sean Clifford absolutely stinks. I've seen him play many times. He's not the guy. Right now he's their QB3. So falls in line with that. The other thing too, Malik Willis played his butt off last year as the backup. I don't think anyone's denying that. Having said that, he's only got 1 year left on his contract. So I'm not sure you're going to be able to bring him back, especially if he looks good this year. I'm not sure you're going to be able to afford him necessarily. He might be in a battle next year to win a starting job somewhere else that Green Bay cannot give him. And then obviously there'd be no circus, no controversy whatsoever in Green Bay because Shedeur would clearly be the backup behind Jordan Love. So there wouldn't be any issue whatsoever in terms of if there's a slow start or something like that people are calling for Shedeur. So you might minimize the circus that way. I don't know what is going to happen with Shedeur Sanders, but that's definitely going to be a big storyline on day 3 as the slide of his continues. So with that in mind, we got a long day tomorrow. It is the longest day of the draft. Usually it takes about 6.5 hours to get through all the picks. Grossi's announcing pick number 198. Hopefully Scott Hansen is hosting day 3. Going to try and win another autograph, win another prize. We're going to see on that. If he calls on me, I'll be ready. If he calls on me, I will be ready. And I'll also see maybe if Grossi's doing something. I know he is doing a meet and greet from 9 to 11, so we will see if we can get down there and meet some people there. So appreciate all you guys tuning in for this vlog. And if you like what you see, you like me doing these vlogs, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps us out a ton on the channel. So we're trying to grow this thing even more. I'm loving this right now. I'm loving what I do, and I appreciate all you guys for being here with me along the way. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys for the final day of the draft tomorrow.